Special Beam Cannon!
Hello YouTubers, this is Dragon Ball C. This is my first video. I've decided I was going to try to upload something talking about my favorite subject, with this Dragon Ball. I was going to say Dragon Ball Super, but everything Dragon Ball. And today, I was thinking about just talking about the good, because any form, anywhere you check, everyone is talking so negatively about Dragon Ball Super, and I understand because there's a lot of logic issue, a lot of inconsistencies, but it's a cartoon, guys. We got to cut 'em some slack, but some of it just doesn't add up, and it just doesn't hold up to the standards that uh, a show like Dragon Ball Z had set. So, with that being said, these are just my opinions. You can agree, you can disagree, you can like them, you cannot like them, but in the end, they're my opinions, and this is just four things. Yeah, four. I know, weird number, but couldn't really think of five. So, four things that I really like. Number four, the different universes. Now, we've been, this was very necessary because I believe in Super, they made Goku and Vegeta very, very powerful, almost way too OP. I mean, these guys are training with angels, they're fighting gods, this is just crazy. So, it's natural that they need some sort of adversary, and of course, Universe 7 is a big universe, but how many things out there can rival Goku and Vegeta? And we've seen very few things that can. So it made sense for them to introduce these new universes with their own set of OP characters, their own set of very powerful characters. That way, if Super does continue, they can, cross universes possibly. You have, the ability to, you know, have sagas with Pride Troopers, have sagas with, I don't know, Universe 2, the Ribrianne and her universe. You have all these opportunities to do many, many things. So they've set themselves up to go many different ways. So we don't have to have just one universe and one set of Z fighters or Z warriors. We can now expand. So I think they've done well in creating these new characters. They've done well in showing that there's different universes with different types of creatures, races, beings. So I think that that will help if and when Super or whatever new iteration comes out decides to come out. But that is really one of my top things about it because it's new. We've never seen that in any of the other series that they've expanded that much. So I think that was a good call by Toriyama and Toei. Number three, the Goku Black Saga. Now, if there was anything that set Super aside from any of the other series, it was the Goku Black arc because it was very dark. In some ways, it was very different. It was more anime inspired, especially towards the end with the whole merge Matsu and the weird purple stuff, just the hate or whatever it was bubbling up. We've never really seen that in Dragon Ball at all. The transformations have been kind of, fluid, and they look good, but this was like he was really messing up. He was just his inner self was just, disfiguring. So I thought that was something very different. You got to see Future Trunks again, so it was a callback and some fan service there to bring back a pretty popular character. I thought it did his character well because I've always seen Future Trunks as somewhat of a punk because just he was kind of whiny in Z and with the androids and all that. He just, you know, he fought well, but he just didn't have that oomph to him. And I thought the Goku Black saga really gave him set him apart from his old self. And even when he and Kid Trunks got into their little altercation and he just kind of was punking him, it made him up his game. And although I didn't like some of his power up because like all the Saiyans seem to be in Super. He was became OP out of nowhere, just tapping into, I guess, Rage Key, God Key, whatever it was. He tapped into it, and he was able to stand up to essentially a god. So, but that was the theme of Super. Everyone gets a power up. Everyone kind of gets a little shine every now and then. So you can't be really too mad. I mean, Krillin was able to hang with Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So, you know, but I thought the entirety of the Goku Black very mysterious. I think it was both for the most part well paced. The Vegito stuff was kind of fan service, but it was cool. But they retconned a lot with the Batar rings, where if they exerted so much energy, they would unfuse. I thought that was not well played, but hey, you know, when you when it seems like a series is coming up with the ideas as they go along, they've got to kind of just pull stuff out that say, hey, we didn't think this through, so we had to find some way to make it make sense so that Vegeta and Goku could eventually unfuse. So I thought that it was a different type of saga. Samatsu, Goku Black were really cool villains. They're really the only new villains we got to see in Super, because unless you count like Frost or some of the other universes in the Tournament of Power as villains, you can't really, because they're essentially fighting the same for the same purpose as everybody else. So they really don't have no ulterior uh, meanings in their, with their attacks and with their motives. So, you know, um, I just thought, even though it's using a character we already know with Goku, it was still a cool little different and dark saga. So that's my number three favorite thing that I liked about Dragon Ball Super. And like I said, guys, these are not in any kind of order. So, if I say three, two, one, whatever, it doesn't mean that's my favorite. Well, number one will be my favorite thing, but the rest of them are just in no particular order. So, with that being said, number two was the idea of the Tournament of Power. Now, once we got the promo with Kel, the female Broly, with Frost, and we saw Jiren. We didn't know his name, but we knew he was just this alien-looking guy that was going toe to toe with Goku. It was exciting because we were told they were bringing all these different universes in one area to just fight it out for survival. That's a cool concept. Never been seen before in Dragon Ball. We may never see it again, but the idea and the anticipation and the build up was very good. The execution, we'll talk about that later, but I thought it was a really cool concept. I didn't really understand the tournament aspect, because I would think that a tournament is more bracket based, where you fight one other universe and then you move on to the next. That's how I thought the structure would be. And in some ways, it came out that way anyway. So, because a lot of it was Universe 7 eliminating universes. But that's a spoiler. If you haven't seen the current episodes, please disregard any of this. Yeah, the concept of the Turn of Power was cool. You were going to get, at first we thought it was going to be all 12, so you were going to get essentially 120 fighters in one place just duking it out. But of course, they changed that up. Four were exempt, and then you had the eight other ones who would essentially give us 80. So that was still a cool concept. 80 new fighters. Plus, we got fighters we hadn't seen in a while. Master Roshi. I mean, we've seen him, but we haven't seen him go all out. Krillin, we hadn't really seen much from. Tien. Of course, they brought back 17, and much like Future Trunks, much like everybody pretty much in Super, he got a crazy power up, and his power up was probably the most significant. But that's a whole nother conversation as well. But yeah, we were promised to see all of our favorite fighters or most of our favorite fighters in there with who knew? We were introduced with Universe 6, so we knew them, but we didn't know all. And then we got new characters, new Saiyans, there was a lot of hype. And I think that the hype was better than what we were given. It was going to be hard to live up to that, of course, and to make true battle royal, Royal Rumble, whatever you call it, because you got to focus on the characters new, and you have to focus on your main character, Goku. So, with that said, they sure did focus a lot on Goku, a lot of Universe 7, and we did really get to see interactions between the other different universes. Did we really want to? Did we care? I don't know, but I thought some of the different styles would have been cool. I mean, I would love to see, some of the Saiyan girls in Kaba and them go against, Universe 2's characters or the trio, the Danger, the three, whatever they were, Wolf Brothers, the Bergamo, Lavender, and Basil. It would be cool to see some of that, and even the Universe 7 fighters fight some different guys. But we got a lot of Goku, a lot of, you know, a lot of stuff that we probably didn't care too much about. We got a lot of, and we didn't really get to see some of the matchups that we were hoping that a Vegeta hit rematch would have been very promising, but we didn't get that. So, in a nutshell, the concept and the idea of the Tournament of Power I thought was a great idea by Super. Something new. It was a mega way to introduce a bunch of new characters that, if you want to go in the future, you can use these characters. If you want to make a whole new series with just the Pride Troopers, hey, you've laid the foundation. So, that's, of course, we have to wait for the end of Super to know exactly what's going to happen. So maybe I'll be thinking about all these different universes for not. But that is my number two best thing and favorite thing about Dragon Ball Super. And I've saved my favorite thing about Dragon Ball Super for last, but definitely not least, and that is it's a character. I think he is by far the coolest. I won't say he's the best, but he is by far the coolest new character that has been introduced in all of Super. This is just my opinion, but that is Hit, the assassin. We've seen a lot of different characters in Super. We've seen a lot of different characters in Z, GT, the original Dragon Ball, but Hit just has that cool factor. And I think it's even translated. I was wondering how it would translate to the English dub. I think he's translated very well, the voice and everything. He's just one of those characters that the look of him, just the look alone makes you think, wow, this guy's really cool. And then his different type of powers, the time skip, and just his ability to rival the Saiyans in the fact that he gets stronger the more he fights. The more he figures out your movements, the more he figures you out. He gets more powerful, and he's been around 1,000 years. So, with that said, he's fought a lot of people probably, and he's done a lot of assassin missions. So he has an extended amount of talent and skill that he has at his disposal. So I just think that has been my favorite part of Super is Hit. I wish we could get more of Hit. We did get our little mini arc with the assassination of Goku, Goku paying hit him off himself to try to kill him. Thought it was a cool concept. We got to see some of his dealings in the other universe. We got to see his interaction with Frost when he was trying to get him to join up with their Universe 6 team for the Tournament of Power. I really liked it. I think he's just, you know, if they do a spin-off with him, I would be happy. He's not my favorite character. My favorite character has to be Piccolo. A lot of people like Piccolo, but he's my favorite. But Hit just takes cool to a whole nother level. Piccolo I thought was cool. Vegeta's cool. You know, these guys who kind of have that no nonsense kind of attitude and just gruff overall um, exterior. But Hit is just, he's just basically like you can't beat me. Don't even try. I'm going to beat you. And the way they introduced him against Vegeta, I thought was just. I know Vegeta fans hate that he has to be the scapegoat, if you will, or the guinea pig for Goku in a lot of fights and a lot of things, but it showed his sheer power. It showed he was very different. It showed that Goku was going to have a long day when those two met up, and he did. And like I said, I wish we would have got the Vegeta rematch. I wish we would have got Hit against maybe Topo. Um, I wish he would have lasted longer. I understood why they, did what they did, but you know, if he's not back by the end of Super, I will be highly disappointed. So, just want to thank you guys for taking your time to listen. Probably boring, but this is just something I thought I'd try. So, if you want to like, dislike, subscribe, but just I hope you're as much of a super fan as I am, and I'm gonna try to do another one. Maybe a couple things I don't like, which will probably be split up into several videos because there's a lot of things that I don't like. And just maybe I'll do some character breakdowns and all of that. But, if you have any comments, just leave them in the comment section and just let me know what you think. Appreciate it.